What is up, you guys? It's the Fallout What If here, and today I'm going to do a what if. And it's going to be the what if that I talked about to you guys, I think, yesterday. It's going to be what if Deku was in the unordinary universe. And basically, this is the same. This is kind of like the same as My Hero Academia. But the only twist is like, quirks aren't as... It's not a quirk, it's basically somebody's ability. Most people have them, but there's cripples, which are basically quirkless, and there's a hierarchy system. And congratulations, you all decided to get, not all, the majority that decided to pick which character Izuku would choose was a Saiyan. So his characteristics are going to be that of a Saiyan. His attitude will be a little shifted a bit, but Alexander, he's gonna technically be a Saiyan hybrid. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it was either give him the abilities of one or make him out to be one. But I decided to make him a Saiyan, have the abilities of one. Basically, he'll have all the abilities of a Saiyan, such as enhanced strength, speed, stamina, all that. He's basically 3 times better than a regular human. But due to his outgoing nature, he's not violent. Which, he has his whole DNA, we'll say it like that. His whole DNA is that of a Saiyan's, but the difference is that it's looked at and it's treated as a ability. So he has this ability that lets him control this Saiyan power, and due to there being a fan over there, a boy named Blake, or Blake, I think it's Blake or Blake. Now, when Alexander becomes 15, the day he needs to be training with his family, he tells them that he's gonna try to be the best that he can. And since he is he's technically born a high ranker, but he doesn't want to show people his true powers, because nobody needs to see that side of him yet. Alexander talks to his mom and his father, and he tells them, why does he have to become the head of the organization? Why does he have to become the mayor? And they tell him that it's more of an obligation. He has to do it because he's one of the strongest out there right now. He hides himself to being a level 2 to a level 3, but his true abilities match that of a level 10, even that of a higher ranking. Yet he doesn't want to show that at the time. So when he talks to his mother, he talks to his dad, they tell him that they love him so much, but they want to train him to becoming the mayor. Other people need to be in leadership. Every state that is in the United States has somebody that's known for being a mayor. They're technically, most of them are kind of like in a related bloodline, but the majority of them are just people who needed shelter, who is willing to protect and willing to fight back for what's theirs. That's why it's called the normal society. So, as that happens, Alex says, alright, he'll do it. Now, with his training, for the first day he has to learn how to shoot projectiles, which he doesn't have too much energy to actually do it. He's called a Saiyan, but his true power is called ki manipulation. But with his bloodline being different, he is just known as that. A Saiyan. Now, I'll tell you guys this. He does have the monkey tail. Because it's kind of it's an abnormality. And people looked at him as weird. But, because he conceals it most times, and not a lot of people just stare at it. Especially when his second day he goes to school. He sees everybody around him just looking all powerful. He goes into one of the classes and he actually sees the red-headed man named Blake. And Blake and him are old friends. And he doesn't want to tell him this because he doesn't think that he remembers him. Blake looked at him before and says he looks kind of familiar, but he never paid too much mind to him. Until, not that. My bad. So, while going to school, he meets a dude named Ryan. Ryan has this weird ability where he can basically shoot projectiles made out of spikes. And he shoots it at Alex. And Alex has to defend himself. And this is when he finds out that people fight in this place. People fight for rank, status. Everybody has to serve under somebody. And since he's a level 3, since Ryan's a level 3, he's not going to be useful in other series. So Alex just says, "Oh, I don't want to fight you, but if you continue to, I will." Ryan says, "Oh, come on now. You really think people are going to care?" And this is when he starts shooting spikes at Alex. My bad. He shoots spikes at Alex. And Alex has to keep defending himself and actually keeps getting hit. He gets stabbed in his arms a lot of times by the spikes. And they do shatter and just go dissolve in a couple of seconds. But Ryan just plays dirty and just shoots at him. While Alex doesn't do anything besides just move around and try to dodge. When he lands a punch on Ryan, Ryan falls to the ground with his hand in his with his hands on his torso and saying that actually hurts. How strong is he? And he says that, do you have a super strength quirk? I mean, power. And this is when he says, "You could say that, but I don't want to waste your time. I actually got to go to class." This is when he actually meets Blake again. And Blake says, "You look pretty strong. Who are you?" And he says, "Oh, my name is Alex." And this is when he says, "Well, Alex, seems that you can hold your own against him. But I actually want to go on, I actually want to fight you myself." And he says, "Well, wait a minute, I don't want to fight you. We're not enemies or anything like that." Blake says, "Are you looking down at me?" And he says, "Oh yeah, he's changed a lot. Blake wasn't like this. He was more of a kinder person. He would usually smell flowers and all that stuff." But this is when Blake says, "Don't ignore me." Alex says, "I'm sorry, but really, I don't want to fight you." And this is when Blake says, "Oh, really? And what if I don't want to, sheesh. And what if I don't listen to you?" And this is when, well, Alex had enough of this and says, "If you keep bothering me, I will fight back. But you're not gonna like what happens to you." And this is when Blake says, "Oh yeah? Let's have a bet. If you win, I get to listen to what, I get to be your errand boy. But if you win, well, if I win, well, when I win, you get to be my errand boy. How about that?" Alex says, "I don't want to do that. And he says, so, it's either that, or I just fight you and you don't like it, and you'll fight back. Really, I'm giving you an opportunity here to make use of yourself. You really need to show me how strong you are. Besides, I need to train myself so that way I can fight those other kids. And this is when Alex says, alright, if you don't want to listen to me, I'll go fight you. And this is when Blake says, alright, now I'm ready. And he starts charging at him, shooting 2 red beams out of his hands, causing him to propel forward at a fast rate. And, well, Alex sees this and actually dodges one of the beams that was supposed to hit Alex's head. But when he sees the back of where he shot at, he sees that there's a hole in the wall. And he realizes that he was actually going to blow my head off. And Alex decides to just have that he had enough of this. He doesn't want to hurt him, but he will just shoot. He will shoot energy at him. And this is when Blake says, "Oh, so you use energy then, huh?" And he says, "All right. Well, I want to try this new. I want to try my technique that I've been working on. Well, that I've been using for a long time." And this is when he says, Kamehame. And to his surprise, he sees Alex doing the same thing. He says, Kamehame. And this is when Blake says, no matter, I'm still gonna win. And they both release a ferocious ha! And these two actually kind of, well, it's not that they did collide, but one overpowered the other. And before the blast could hit Blake, he just stopped using it. But he did run up to him and actually just jumped up in the air, giving him a flying knee, a flying knee kick, causing Blake to actually fly a couple of feet and just pass out. This is when, well, Alex says, I told you I didn't want to fight. Gosh, I don't do nothing bad, and people want to fight me. This is ridiculous. I should have just gone homeschooled instead. That way I didn't have to deal with anybody else. You see, Blake is kind of, not Blake, Alex is kind of an introvert. He likes going outside and talking to people, but he stays to himself. He really doesn't do the whole talking, since people that he's meet are usually jerks and don't listen to what he has to say, and just think of him as a pushover. Which in turn means that they try to bully him, and when he fights back, he kind of doesn't hold back. So, Alex goes into class, and he meets a girl. He meets a group full of royals, and with this, there's a blonde man named Arlo, a girl with purple greenish hair, and that is called Serafina, and a girl that has blue hair and another one that has red hair, which is Blake. Blake had to go to class early. This is like, what, 3-4 hours after the whole fight goes on? And he sees that they're gonna go to the, what is it called? Royals versus Royals battle. Blake doesn't want to go bother them. So he goes into a different class, and he does go, and he learns about, let's just say, biology. So after that, school ends, and he decides to go and walk into town. And in going there, he actually sees that there's a bunch of people that are scared of somebody. It's a weird man with crazed look in his eyes, who has this whole "I'm better than you" thing. He can actually shoot. He can actually shoot. What's the word? I don't know what it's called, but he can shoot his hands, but he enlarges them. Well, how would I explain this? He shoots out a projectile, but the projectile seems to be his hand, grow even bigger and stronger. And when he uses it, it's kind of like, what's the word? If any of you guys watched Green Lantern has the ability to conjure up things such as like hands, nets, a car, train, like different things. The man right there can conjure energy like hands at people, and basically just grab people and just throw them somewhere. And as they see this, Alex says that this guy's up to no good. And when he tries to defuse the situation, the man says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And this is when Alex says, "Oh, I'm trying to tell you right now to stop doing that. You're hurting the people around here. And that's not good at all." The man says, "What, you think you're gonna actually stop me?" And to his surprise, Alex says, "Yes, I'm gonna stop you." And this is when the guy says, "Oh boy, we got a vigilante." What's his face again? Alex, my bad. Alex says, "You know what? I gotta put you down." To this, the man just shoots an energy hand at him, and Alex is trying to get out of it, but the guy is starting to squeeze hard, and he tries to squish him, but Alex decides to go and try to, break out of it. While doing so, he decides to try to amplify his strength, and he releases a huge, he releases a huge amount of ki into the air, and actually kind of makes this like explosion out of his whole body. And he starts running to the freaking man, who tries to use it again, but the guy sees that he vanished. Going behind him, Alex grabs him and actually does a suplex, slamming him to the ground and causing a small earthquake. Alex looks around and people say that, "Oh wow, he actually saved us, and he's strong too. Is he a high-ranking person?" And all of them are just like speaking to themselves because he went to the low-ranking society, and he looks around and sees that people were scared of that guy, and he wonders what could he have done earlier. There's two people right now with cracked ribs, and one of them has a concussion, but the other one is out cold. He realizes that he has to get strong. Sure, he can be he's a little bit strong, but his family and his friends and people in his community, they need his help. So Alex decides to go see if he can make himself stronger. And in this, he learns how to fight with his energy. Now, if you guys are wondering whether he's going to become a Super Saiyan or something like that, that will be later on. Like, probably 3 episodes later. But days go by, and school is just normal. Until he sees the same dude with black hair talking with Serafina. And he finds out that his name is John. He kind of forgets about it, but after he sees him again, he realizes who he is. And these two are talking for a while, and he tells them that, Hey, it's a long time no see. And this is when John says, oh yeah, hi. John and Alex have a conversation for a while until a blonde hair man with blue eyes says, you, with the hoodie. Alex looks behind him and says, yeah? Is there something you want? This is when the girl with blue hair, says, oh, his name is Arlo. He's the king around here. So you shouldn't be so formal with him. And this is when Alex says, wait, why can't I just talk to him normally? It's not like he's anything special, he's just another person. Arlo looks at this with a little irritation, but he wipes it off and says, you must be new around here. I am Arlo. I am the king around here, and you are worth talking to. But I found out that you were able to handle yourself against Blake. And this is when Alex says, oh no, he's probably gonna try to ask me for a match. And this is when Arlo says, I heard you're a level 2. But when you fought him, he says that you fought with no effort. Which tells me that you're somewhat a higher rank than me. Or just as high enough rank as me and Serafina. This is when Alex says, no, believe me. I guess he wasn't paying attention and I actually hit him. Because of that, I was able to win. I'm not anything special, I just learned a couple of fighting moves. I'm a low rank actually. I'm 2.8, as far as I remember. And this is when Arlo says, oh, so was it this year, or was it last couple of years, or you still won this year? And this is when he says, I'm still a 2.8, but I could be 2.9 if I train hard enough. This is when Arlo says, that idiot. He had to lose to someone weaker than him. He needs to get strong so that way he can actually be useful in the matches. And he looks at him and says, wow, people actually care about ranks around here? What happened to everybody helps out everybody? Arlo looks at him and then he talks to John and Serafina. Now he talks to more of Serafina than John. John doesn't care who he is, so he doesn't bother him too much. Not yet, at least. But this is when Blake says, you, Alex, I want another rematch. And this is when he says, oh, sheesh. Hey, Blake, how you doing? And Blake says, you, how did you do that? You said that you were a 2 point something. I'm a 2.8. Whatever. You're supposed to be strong. But you call yourself a 2.8? This is when Alex says, no, wait, I'm a 2.8. It was just because I guess I got a lucky hit off of you. And you were distracted a little bit. Blake realized this and he says, is that really true? Damn, so I lost somebody lower than me? Sheesh, I really gotta step on my A game here. Well, no matter. I should be going. And this is when Alex says, oh, I'm not done with you. Hey, you said you were gonna be my errand boy, right? And Blake says, you remembered. And Alex said, yeah, did you think I was just gonna forget that easily? And Blake says, no, but... no buts about this. You lost to me fair and square. You decided to challenge me, and you gave me a reward if I won. So, I'm gonna cash in my reward. Blake says, I should have not done it. Damn, I'm such an idiot. And this is when Alex says, well, tomorrow you're gonna be my errand boy. Now, besides all that, I gotta get to class. And right now, Alex is gonna give Blake the realization of who he truly is. And not only that, Alex is gonna have to work hard to become the high-ranking mayor. Now, this is the first episode. It took 5 episodes in total to create just one. So, I think I found myself a steady track flow on what I can do. But anyway, if you guys like this, do tell me how you feel about it. But anyway, I'll say this once and I'll say it again. Like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout. What if you're here? Bye.